Germany's status as one of international football's giants isn't in question, but its club competition, the Bundesliga, isn't the biggest, financially speaking at least. 3 months ago, Deloitte published a report stating for the first time that the English Premier League had overtaken the Bundesliga as the most profitable. And in the company's latest findings, German club spending in the latest transfer window paled in comparison to their English counterparts. Teams in the Premier League spent a total of £870 million, almost £600 million more than their Bundesliga counterparts. Of the top 5 leagues across Europe, Germany's is ranked 4th, with spending in Serie A and La Liga significantly more.
Looking more broadly across Europe, the trends as to which leagues are spending the most in gross or net terms does vary year to year. The one constant that we're seeing is the Premier League is significantly ahead of any of the other leagues consistently in terms of how much they're spending. So this year the Premier League gross spend is more than double that of any of the other major European leagues.
The Premier League's £870 million outlay is a new high, up from the previous record, last year's £835 million. When combined with the previous window spend of £130 million, the £1 billion mark's been reached for the first time. Where the Premier League spent its money during the most recent transfer window also makes for interesting reading. 2/3 went overseas, with over £200 million going between clubs in England's top flight and £75 million to lower tier outfits. But what's driving the increasing transfer splurge?
Well, the primary factor behind the uplift in revenue, which in turn drives spending on players, has been broadcast revenue. The Premier League's been extraordinarily successful in generating broadcast revenue, and looking to the future, they've already announced significant uplifts in their deals starting from next season. So the most significant element driving increased means is safeguarded for the next 3 years for Premier League clubs. So Premier League clubs will have more revenue, and they may well choose to use that to invest in players.
Manchester City were the biggest spenders, paying about £160 million for new talent, a record for a single team. Investment in the likes of Kevin De Bruyne and Raheem Sterling certainly doesn't come cheap, especially when the big goal is to qualify for and eventually win the UEFA Champions League.
Participation in the Champions League remains the goal for Europe's elite clubs. Participation brings with it a number of benefits, not least being a significant increase in revenue from broadcast rights. And as such, we see clubs right across Europe investing in playing talent to secure one of those limited places in the competition.
With gross commercial revenue from last season's Champions League over the £1 billion mark, missing out on Europe's elite competition is something no leading team can afford. This year's group stage begins in just under 2 weeks.
Anthony Martial has the world at his feet. The 19-year-old has enjoyed a whirlwind week, called into his first France senior squad,